What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another day, another dollar. And we're looking at the ES E-mini futures contract. We're going to be breaking it down once again from the top down. We're going to look at our monthly, our weekly, our daily time frame, and then get into our 30-minute time frame and look at kind of the nuances that kind of led to, told us, gave us a head start and told us what the day might have shaped up to be. And if you could read into it, you definitely made money on the day, made some profits, made some points. However, if you were caught on the wrong side and did not know about these things, maybe you could add them to your charts later on in the next session on Monday and have something to look out for. Things I'll review on our 30-minute time frame are things that you definitely want to be aware of so you don't get hurt and so you can take the right trade. So let's go ahead and look at our monthly time frame. Our monthly time frame, once again, coming out of balance with an attempt to come out of balance. So far, we've just peaked our head right above that monthly balance and came right back in. Now, I'm at a little confliction point when we come to the weekly, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a minute. But right now, the monthly is making an attempt to come out of balance to the upside. If we get above and close above 4208.50 by the end of next week, you will be looking really positive to push up into the 4300 level or my 4327.50 level, which was August high of last year. That is ultimately the target. That is the secondary balance. The secondary balance, if you're not aware, is the 4300 down to the 3500 level. So that is the the secondary balance. Our primary has been the 4200 down to the 3800 level. So we've just been chopping around in this balance area for quite some time. Let's see how we move come in June. Come to June, do we sell off? Is the sell in May and go away technique coming in clutch here as we are near the highs of the year? Will we sell off, rotate back down, and just possibly have stretched our monthly balance? Could be. We'll see how it shapes up. Let's go ahead and look at our weekly time frame. Our weekly time frame. You can see how it is reacting to this upper end of the monthly balance. Now, keep in mind, monthly balance or balance rules are in effect when it comes to the monthly, right? You either get near the balance high or you get right up to it. You fell and come back in. You poke your head above it. You fell and come back in. Or you go through it and have continuation to the upside, right? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for continuation to the upside. So we're wanting to come out of this balance area, out of this heavy resistance to the upside. It is looking strong as this week was we closed with an outside week up. So very positive from the bulls this week. That's where my confliction point comes in, right? We have been chopping around inside this balance zone on our weekly time frame from 4206.25 to 4062.25. All right. So far, we peaked our head above it by a good margin, right? We ran up to a high of 42.25, so 20 points basically above our balance high, and then we came back in and closed just inside of our balance area. I would have liked to have seen us close above it. That would have given me I guess a more positive outlook, but I guess I can't ignore the fact that we are breaking out of balance to the upside with an inside week up. All right. And a double inside week up. This week was inside this week was inside this week, and boom, we shot up. However, not as much tempo and excitement above this 4200 level that I'd like to see so far. That is something we got to keep an eye on. So I guess I'm going to give the buyers their due where it's done, where they've attempted to break this out, right? Give them the benefit of the benefit of the doubt, or however the saying goes. So keep an eye on this. All right, let's see if we don't take out this week's high and roll over and take out the week's low. Then we might have just stretched our balance high by a little bit, right? For the buyers, we want to see us get continuation above this area. So that means we need to take out this week's high and continue to one time frame up and confirm the one time framing up by getting above the 42.25.75 level. All right. So for next week, that's what we want to see. We want to see us take out this week's high and continue trucking up higher. Now let's go ahead and look at our daily time frame. Daily, firmly one time framing up, continues to one time frame up now, 2 days in a row. All right, or let's see, 2 days in a row we've been one time framing up, right? Looks like the 20-day moving average has been acting out as a little bit of support, so maybe do we continue to one time frame up above the 42.0625 level and my daily balance level of 41.7725, right? Do we continue to one time frame up above that, get some legs to the upside, and then keep in mind right here at the 42.75 level, the 42.2075 level was that gap fill back from this day here, right? Where we gapped down and then we never filled it. We just now filled that. That was back from August 18th. August 18th was where that gap fill was at. So we got right up to that gap fill today, filled the gap, and then backed off initially. Volume, decent on the day. Volume was good, 1.3. So just right at average of what our volume was. We'd like to see a little bit more tempo and volume to the upside to make this a more confident move. However, cannot ignore that we've broken out of balance and we are one time framing up on our daily time frame, right? Now keep in mind, the weekly, just to go back and look at it, so you guys do not forget. Hello. My mouse is still broken. We want to get above our weekly balance and continue to one time frame up, right? So any acceptance above the 42.0625 level, we'll see it on our daily first, and then we'll see it on our weekly by taking out that 225 level, right? Now let's go ahead and look at our 30-minute time frame, and we'll get into the nuances of what happened, and then we'll mark our destinations like we normally do. We'll mark our destinations and then show you guys some scenarios for the upcoming week. Remember, next week I'll be on vacation, so for those of you that actually look forward to watching my videos, the very few of you that are out there, I do appreciate it. But I will be on vacation next week, so there will be no updates from me throughout the week. So let's go ahead and get into today's price action and then get you guys out of here, and hope you have a good weekend, right? So right out the gate, I want to show you guys what we did. So what we're looking at right now in this chart is the full-time session, or the full trading session. This is including the overnight session, and then let me move this into a 30-minute time frame. So this is the full trading session here, the overnight and everything included. I want to show you guys, we have our overnight high marked here at 42.2725, and then our overnight low at 42.12 even, right? So you want to have these things if you're trading anything, really. If you are trading anything, especially futures, you want to have these areas marked on your map or on your chart, right? You want to have them marked so you know, all right, if we get above 42.27, that is a bullish sign. That is showing bullishness. If we can get the overnight high, then we'll potentially have the overnight stops ran and then find more buyers to push us up higher, right? So if we get the overnight high, that is a bullish sign. If we get the overnight low, then that shows that sellers are stronger, right? That shows that, all right, we got to the overnight low, we're going to run stops and continue to push down lower, okay? So that's things that you want to have marked on your chart. Now, here I only have the A, B, and C period, the first 3 time frames of the day marked on our chart. We'll zoom this in a little bit more here. So in A period, we opened up with a gap above the previous day's high. So we opened with a gap above the previous day's high in A period. We pushed up, could not get the overnight high. B period opens up, chops around inside of A period. Nothing, not a lot happening. So A period is the entire initial balance. All right. So as we know, in the market profile world, the initial balance is the first two time frames, high and low. Since A period was the entire range, you just use A period's high and low, 25.75 and 16.25 as the low. So here in C period, right, you want to open up if you are bullish. And so far, it looked like we had things in the favor of the buyers, right? We'd opened up with a gap above the previous day's high. We are opening above the price probe right here, right? Price spike right here at 99.25, where change took place late in the day. So we're opening above both those areas. We have higher value. So there are three things that the buyers already have out the gate. Now, nuances you want to look for that maybe these buyers are not as strong as you think. One of them being in C period, when we pushed up, you couldn't take out the initial balance high at 25.75. Matter of fact, you have a poor high here at 25.75 as C period's high is exactly A period's high. So that is nuance number one. Nuance number two is that we didn't even get to the overnight high. We couldn't even get the overnight high. So if buyers were truly that strong by opening with a gap with higher value and above the price probe, you should go and get the overnight high, right? You think odds favor that pretty good. However, these are short-term, weak-handed traders, and as we pushed up, we had a large seller sitting here at the 25 level, front running that overnight high. We never got it. Great sell opportunity there, as all we did was push back down to back below the opening, testing our initial balance low. D period opens up. So this is where we can, I'll go ahead and mark these as I go through it. This is D period here that I'm marking, just so you guys have more of a visual. As D period opens up, we kind of chop around a little bit, moving back and forth through the through the opening right here at 19. So we chop around a little bit, and then finally D period takes out A's low. So we get the initial balance low. Your next downside target from the sell side is 42.12, the overnight low. If you get that, your next downside target isn't until 99.25, where the price probe is, right? So that's why we have these destinations marked on our chart. So in D period, you can see, if you're looking at my left chart now, in D period, we pushed through, right? Pushed through, got the initial balance low. So now sellers have things in their cap. They're checking things off. They fill the gap, so there's no more gap anymore. So buyers lost that. So check mark number 2 for the sellers. Next thing for the sellers is to get the overnight low at 42.12. We push into 42.12 and through it. We get to 42.12. Nothing holds us up there. We get through it, and boom, we continue to push lower. So sellers have another thing in their checklist, right? So they've gotten the initial balance low, they filled the gap, now they've gotten the overnight low. Their next downside target isn't until the price probe, and it's a vacuum down to 99.25. So D period pushes down. You could have taken the short in C period against the day's high. You could have taken a short in D period against the day's high. You would have been an innovator here, right? This was an innovative trade because it was against what the MGI or the market generated information was telling us at the time, which was to be long. However, if you were buying against A's low, as long as you knew where your out was, whether that had been at A's low at 16, at the gap fill at 15, or at the overnight low at 12, you might have lost a little bit on the long side. But once you got that overnight low and you took back the gap, you knew your next downside target, if you have it marked, is 99.25. So you could have taken your loss out at 12, right? You had an opportunity as it pushed back up into 12 to take the trade. push back down, you would have gotten at least 10 points out of the trade to the downside. Now an E period. So we'll focus on this now. So now we've filled the gap. Sellers are starting to take things back as the buyers are weak, right? So we filled the gap. We got the overnight low, and we are one time framing down. We got the initial balance low, and now E period opens up, and we have a set of single prints above. So I'm gonna mark this set of single prints. I'm gonna mark it with a box for now, just so you guys can see visually. It represent an area of resistance. So I'm gonna mark it red. For those of you that like to see things a little bit more visually, mark it red. So since sellers had things in their favor, right? As E period pushed up and ate away at the set of single prints, actually it was a lot larger. The set of single prints initially looked like that, but E period pushed up and ate some of it away. So it initially, oh God, I hate this mouse. I'm gonna throw it against the wall. Leave a thumbs up for the mouse hitting the wall after this video, because I'm done with it. I'm done. All right, so initially our set of single prints looked like that. It was a very large set because it started right where right where D closed at 03. So then E period opens up, pushes up, and takes away some of that single print, right? So now we have an area. As it pushed up, you could have taken the short where you were comfortable. Obviously, you don't want to chase near the lows here. You want to wait for a relief rally short or a relief rally to short into, and then use where the single prints fill or above as you're out. So obviously, you want to start small position here and then use anywhere above 18. Let's say you get back into 18 as you're out. So you know you might have taken an 8-point. It's 8-point risk, but you're looking to come back into 99. So you're shorting around 9 to get 10 points, or you're shorting 9 and you're about a 1-to-1 risk, essentially. So as E period pushed up, you had a great opportunity to short on that push up, and it came in, got 99, and then pushed in even lower to 91. So great risk reward short there. You could have shorted an F period against E's high. You could have shorted in G period against E's high and that set of single prints. You could have shorted an H period against E's high and that set of single prints. You would have had to wait until I to roll over, right? So rotational near the lows of the day, or near the lows of the day. But every push up was an opportunity to short, right? If you didn't want to short an H period, you could have shorted an I against H and E. And then you want to wait for a push back up. You could have shorted an M again, but obviously it's late in the evening. You might be done trading by that point. So today we just go out with a double distribution. You can see that here clearly. The upper distribution is A's range. The lower distribution is E's high to E's low. So all of E's range is the the lower distribution. In yesterday's video, I was talking about how I would not be surprised if we chopped around inside M's range in that 4,200 level, since we didn't spend any time there. And that's what we got today. We chopped around this 4,200 level and inside M's range. So called it there, ladies and gentlemen. But this is why things like market profile is very beneficial. And just looking at a larger time frame, like 30 minutes, 30-minute time frame, can be beneficial and help you take better risk reward trades, especially like that short here in E period, the innovative short up here in B and C, right, against the overnight high, even in D period. Once you took out the initial balance low and the overnight low, great short opportunity to go down and get the price probe. Great short in E period to get the price probe. Great short in H period against that. I almost want to say H period is an afternoon rally high, but it's really close to the set of single prints. It's only a point difference, so I think I'll just mark the set of single prints. But there were opportunities to take trades. I would not have been longing this market. Yes, you could have faded the edges to rotate back up. But yeah, we go out with today's high, today's low, a set of single prints, and then a 8 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A 9 wide point of control here at K's high of 0550. So let's go ahead and mark these destinations and get you guys on your way. I do appreciate you guys hanging around. If you made it to the end of this video, please leave a like down below. It definitely helps me out. And I hope these videos are very, very beneficial to you, especially pointing out nuances like not getting the initial balance high or the overnight high, right? And then running down, getting the initial balance low and the overnight low. I'm just marking all these destinations real quick just so I can go back and edit. All right, so 91.50, today's low. 91.50, boom, 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 low of day. 519.23. Mark that green. We have our 9 wide point of control here at K's high at 0550. 0550, K's high. I like this color better. And wide point of control. We have the single prints where they start at 10. So single prints start here. Single prints will start here. And that is the upper portion of the lower distribution. So keep in mind the lower distribution from 4210 to 4191.50 with the 9 wide point of control at 4205. Now, if you open up in the lower distribution here and can't take out the day's low, you will rotate between the 4205 area, right? You'll chop around inside this range once again. And then obviously if you get above 4210, you'll look to fill the set of single prints that fill at 1625 and then potentially dip your toe into the upper distribution. This is where the single prints will fill. Single prints fill 5. Okay. And then we have our high of day at 25.75. And so our high on the year, right? Our high on the year is a poor high. So is that a nuance? Is that something that is kind of telling us maybe this market will roll back over? I don't know. Market's trying to move up higher. We'll see. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's your destinations. So if we open up in the lower distribution, cannot take out the day's low, say we test it, can't take it out, you will rotate up into 4205.50 and test 4210. If you get above 4210, you will get into 4216.25 single print fill and test the upper distribution. With any acceptance in the upper distribution, you'll trade up into the day's high at 4225.75. However, if you take out the day's low, your next destination is not until the afternoon pullback low at 4172.50, and then down here where the low of day starts at 4064.75, and where a set of single prints start at 4064.25, and they fill at 48.75. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'm on vacation next week, so I will catch you guys. Let's see. I'll catch you guys. I guess I'll catch you guys at the end of the month. See how we shape it up. So yeah, thanks for all your support, guys. We'll catch you later.